I would not doubt that whatsoever. But all right, so those are the picks for the AFC and NFC North teams. Now we're going to quickly talk about the Major League season. Baseball All-Star game just took place. National League lost for the 13th straight year. National League is terrible. American League is better. Who cares? Bottom line is, looking at these divisions, I'm going through a list here. You got Boston, Detroit, the Angels, right now in top of their divisions in the American League. In the National League, you got Philadelphia, St. Louis, and the Dodgers on top in their division. It's going to be an interesting second half because, obviously, the first thing that jumps out in my mind, the National League Central and the American League West, probably the two closest division races at this point in time. Is there a team that you see that you're like, all right, I really believe that they're going to falter toward the end and lose their division lead? I mean, is there anybody that you think that you just don't really see them hanging on?
Out of the teams that are leading the divisions now, I actually feel pretty good about most of them. Personally, I think Boston Red Sox are probably the best organization in Major League Baseball right now.
Without a doubt.
Theo Epstein has just totally changed their culture there.
Yes, he has.
And also how the way he develops, the way they scout, develop players. A lot of their stars are homegrown. Pedroia, Papelbon, Ellsbury. I mean, they're what the Yankees wish they were.
Yeah.
Youkilis is another great player for them. They have the best pitching staff 1 through 12, I think, in the major leagues, which will eventually show and be the difference. Whichever one wins the division in the AL East between them and the Yankees, I think whichever one doesn't is still going to win the wild card. So I'm not concerned. I do think Boston will win the division. I think the Yankees will slide into the wild card. I just don't think the Yankees. I don't think that their bullpen they're getting from their starting to Rivera as good as it should be. The Detroit, I think, will hold on. They have some good young pitching, even though the Dontrelle Willis signing was a complete trade was a complete disaster.
Yeah, it hasn't worked out.
I would say the Angels are still going to win the division, even though Texas has played really well, because the Angels have been there, done that, and as their starters get healthy, because they had Escobar on the DL, Santana on the DL, Lackey.
Guerrero went on the DL too now.
As soon as they get healthy, with Socia probably one of the top 3 coaches and managers in baseball, I think the Angels get it done easily. I think Texas will fade. They play in Texas. It's hot. They play outdoors.
Oh God!
And that's
always summer coming.
That's always been a knock on them. If you look at their records in August, September has always been poor, and they say that's a factor.
Yeah.
We'll see, but I think they'll slowly fade.
I could see the right now out of the wild card. I really see the one thing I see is Tampa Bay. They're only 3.5 behind, or this was on Thursday. They were 3.5 behind the Yankees. I see Tampa Bay taking over that wild card because once again they're a good young team. They're going to get it done and all that stuff. But now out of the National League. I mean, Philly, they're not going anywhere. Dodgers are going to stay there. I mean, their divisions are not as good. But the one thing I'm looking at is essential. And yes, I know I might be a homer and talking about the Astros, but they're over 500. They've beat the Dodgers twice already. They have a possibility of sweeping them if they can win today and tomorrow. I truly believe I can see the Astros taking over this division lead because the National League Central is the weakest division. St. Louis, not that good. Milwaukee, not that good. Chicago, don't even get me started on the Cubs. The Cubs, screw the Cubs. But the Astros, I mean, they got the pitching. They're coming around. Wandy's having a great year. Sure. He's doing what he needs to do. Michael Bourne, I think, has pretty much resurrected his career. Because after last year, people were thinking, oh, he's gone, he's done. Look what Lidge did in Philly, and look what Bourne did last year. And everybody's like, oh, well, we made a terrible trade. Now looking at it, Ed Way looks like a genius. Because Michael Bourne's having a great year.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I think the Dodgers have basically already won the West. I mean, unless they have a huge collapse. I do think Philly will win the East. The East is down. The Mets, they've been a complete disaster with all the money they spend off season.
Yeah.
A team that I really like. And they have one of the worst offenses in the I think they're in the bottom. They're one of the bottom 2 or 3 in the majors. Is the San Francisco Giants? They have great starting pitching.
They have the best 1-2 punch right now.
Great young starting pitching between Kane, Lincecum, Sanchez threw a no-hitter. Should have threw a perfect game, but they got third baseman got error. Can they score enough runs? Well, if you only give up 2 or 3 a game, the odds you win it. They remind me a lot of the Astros when they went to the World Series. Horrible offense, great pitching. And pitching ultimately wins. So I think the Giants have a good chance of coming out as the wild card.
There's a lot of teams in hunt too for that wild card.
Exactly. As far as the Central, the Cubs have been a huge disappointment. If they get healthy and some of their starting pitching gets straight, as much as I hate to say it, I think the Cubs have the best team on paper. But that doesn't always relate. The Cardinals have surprised me a bit. I mean, you got the best player on the planet in Pujols.
Oh, yeah.
Once teams figure out that they just need to walk him regardless, I think the Cardinals might struggle a little bit on offense. Do the Astros have a chance? Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, yeah.
Why not? With Oswalt and Rodriguez pitching as good as they are, they have a chance. Their middle relief, their bullpen has been great. Now Hampton, Moeller, Ortiz, Paulino, who's ever filling slots 3 through 5 in the rotation, they're going to have to get more innings because the bullpen's going to wear out.
Yeah.
The Astros do have the oldest team in Major League Baseball, and that's a concern when you get to the dog days or the long stretch. But hey, why not? They're only a couple games out. They're playing really well right now. Oswalt straightened back out. Berkman straightened back out.
Finally straightened back out.
Tejada's having a year like he was 10 years
right?
ago.
Contract year for him, so obviously he's having a good year. But you know what? I'll take it. If it helps us get to a playoffs, maybe another World Series, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain whatsoever.
I'd say the Astros have as good a chance as anyone of winning the division.
Oh, yeah. I think with that, I truly believe.
I think they have a better chance of winning the division than they do winning the wild card.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that, too, because before the season started, I thought the Cardinals would take the Central, Astros wild card. And now that I'm looking at it, it's halfway through the mark. I mean, St. Louis is a great team and all, but I agree with you. I believe Astros have a better chance at the division than they do the wild card because San Francisco's playing great. Colorado's coming alive. So, I mean, yeah.
The Astros get the Cardinals for 3 at home. I believe starting Monday.
Yep, I'll be there.
That's when you can, that's when they got to start showing that they're in it for the long run, and then they can decide whether they want to be, whether they want to be a buyer or a seller come the trade deadline, because the trade deadline will be here
in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
not this week, but next week. Yep. So I mean, like you said, they play the Dodgers now. They got the Cardinals and they got the Cubs and they got the Mets. I mean, they got a rough stretch.
The schedule gets a lot tougher. They had an easier schedule in the first half, which they took advantage of at the end.
Yeah.
They were 10 games under 500, I believe, at their worst point. So I mean, from where they were to where they are has been a great achievement, but they're only 2 games over 500, so you can't lose your head about how great they are yet.
Oh, no, you can't. No, we still got a long way to go. Believe me on that. We were talking about something before we got. All right, so old man Tom Watson is leading the Open Championship after 3 rounds today. The guy is 59, and he's going to be 60 in September. And you were telling me a nice little fact about that, like how old he is and whatnot. Why don't you go ahead and share that with everybody?
Well, yeah, they said that, and I'm not sure if it's I believe it's the British Open, now the Open Championship.
Yeah.
They don't allow anyone to play a tournament that's 60 years of age or older. Watson, I believe they said, turned 60 in September. So theoretically, if he'd have been born in, I don't know if it's the same calendar year or the year of the tournament or whatever, but basically this guy was really close to not even being allowed to play in the tournament, and now he's got a chance to win it. It's a major. Number 1 player in the world didn't even make the cut. Tiger Woods.
My God, that was.
So I mean, will he hold on? I don't know. Would it be a great story?
Oh, yes.
The man's almost 60 years old, playing with guys in their late 20s, early 30s. I think he's won 5 British Opens. I don't think he's won one in 25 or
his last
20 years.
I think his last one. Yeah, they said his last major championship has been 20 years. It's been 2 decades since he's won a championship. Yeah. I think so.
And he hasn't really. He's won a few senior titles, but I don't think he's won on the PGA Tour in that long either. So it would be a great story. It proves that in the individual sport like golf or something like that, hey, it's you against the course. It's not you against other players.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter what age you are. If you got talent, you can prevail.
I was going to say, usually you traded 1 TW. They were saying, you got Tom Watson, TW, same initials as Tiger Woods. Tiger's gone, but you still got a TW taking over. But what I think I'm going to remember most about this is I don't even watch golf. I don't play golf. But no matter, even if he doesn't win this championship, you're always going to remember the year Tom Watson almost won a U.S. Open, or not the U.S. Open, the Open Championship. I mean, it doesn't matter who wins because everybody's going to remember what Tom Watson did, which, I mean, I guess that takes away from whoever wins, but win or lose, everybody will always remember this, that the guy that was 59 years old almost won a title.
Right, and ABC, it's a sigh of relief for them because Mickelson wasn't in the tournament because his wife is getting cancer treatment. Tiger Woods didn't make the cut. So the top 2 draws and the top 2 players that people call in or view in to see play aren't playing on Saturday, Sunday. So they're lucky that they have a compelling story in Tom Watson, or no one would even turn the TV on.
Oh no, I don't even watch golf, and I found myself watching the last 3 or 4 holes that he played, and I was very impressed. So